Yep, I'm back. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make an elephant go anywhere, you know. Um, wake up, wake up! The treasure hunt isn't over yet. It could be. Um, there's, I got my search area to go to, and you know when I go up there, you can't look at everything. You got to go and look again at things you didn't look at the time before, and you keep going. Um, you know, the number of searches I've done myself compared to the number of searches done by, if you take that number of searches that everybody's done, you know, there's really been a whole lot of searches. And so even you know, that means there's probably been millions of unsuccessful searches. So if I have 100 or 200 of them, that's not many unsuccessful searches compared to the rest of the community as a whole. You know, nobody's had a successful search. Nobody has the treasure. You know, they all took a paddle and went up their creek. Oh, the bear is going to fall out. Yeah. He said to be no paddle up your creek. Let's back him up a little bit. Oh, I can't see. Oh, the bear fell out of the boat. See, it's a boat. With an Indian in it. So, you gotta have some little props, you know, to make it fun. Looking for the treasure isn't easy. There's a lot of you looking, and could it be there? No, that's just some dirt, and there's rock an inch down, you know. So, put bear back in the boat. I don't know where I have found him somewhere. This little thing. His legs go bend and stuff. So, oh well. He can hang out with the Indian here. Hang him on his arm. So, yeah, and you know, I go into the search area. I can go there 2 weeks of the month, and then I have to evacuate from there because you're not allowed to stay there more than 14 days. And I go 30 miles away, or you know, 35 miles, or more like, and it's so to go up there to go search while I'm camped down here. It's a 70-mile trip, and I can only do that, you know, maybe once a week from down here because of the expense of you know, the travel and all that. I don't have unlimited resources like the guy in Australia. Oh yeah, $100,000, dude. $100,000. I'll hire some people to go look with me. But it ain't where you think it is up. It ain't up there in Montana. You can't. My friend said that kind of distance would take a day, two at the most, and no way could be done on horseback in half a day, in an afternoon. It would take all day to do that, and possibly part of the next day. You know, and that's if the trail is good. I'm sure if the trail is bad, and I've seen videos on horseback rides through the Montana and Idaho Rockies, and it's pretty rough for some of that stuff. It's not easy. Some of you people haven't gone hiked in the woods. It's not the city park. It's not manicured. You climbing over stuff. Um, you got to remember the camera's right there. Point. Um, ain't got nobody say anything yet, huh? You got anything there? Yeah. Oh, good morning. Yeah. Hey, Steve, living the gypsy lifestyle. Um, well, I there's no rent. My rent is moving it every 2 weeks. You know, paying for the fuel and and dumping and keeping the propane tank full. And, 'cause you got you know some places they charge you to dump your black tank like $10-15, but luckily there's a spot near here it's free. As long as you know they like you to go buy some groceries there. Yeah, no comments on anything. Hey, Jimmy Corn. Is don't ask. Is Corn a real name? We don't know. Yeah, my prescription glasses from the VA. I had them in a case when I went hiking, and I guess I jarred and the can't find the screws came out over here, and the lens fell out, and I got to take it into the place and then fix it, put a new screw in it. Those glasses last 6 months, so these are just Dollar Tree, $1, and I don't have to look through the bottom of the glasses. What's Merrick? Merrick. Well, yeah. There's corn pipes and there's other things people do with corn cobs and stuff. You gotta be careful. Yeah. Um, so I don't know if anybody has. Nobody has ever has any questions. You see the other chat group, the Alcoholics Anonymous show. You know, and I was not even allowed to be in that chat. I was excluded from the chat. I can't. You know, the guy who's seeing these they're reviewing the drawings, and the guy who's finding the drawings, actually finding them out there in nature, is not allowed on the show. And they're talking about a salamander. I don't know where in his. Can somebody tell me where in his story there's a salamander? I know there's mammoths, elephants in it. I know there's Indians in it. I know there might be a bear story. But also, people don't see that Brown is mentioned in the book. When he slid down that fire escape, it left a brown streak on his breeches, and everybody knew what he had done, how he got that brown streak, that brown blaze on the back of his pants. You know. Now, the one problem I have with my area is you're looking for these figures in position, in the same position, like group of people in the rocks that are in his drawings, and there's so many figures that you have to see it the same way he's seen it. If you can't see it the same way he's seen it, you're never going to get. So if you're not able to see the Rockwell boy and all that stuff, and the Biddy's boy and you know those Rockwell, that school one they went over, and it's like, man, I got a picture of that. It's like painted on a rock, one set of rocks, and a half mile away is the kid alone going like this. except he has a little man like sitting on his temple. And he's got a hole in his forehead, and the guy's reaching inside his mind, getting into his mind. And that's what you got to do. You got to get into the mind of Forrest Fenn. And you know, he might be out there in the woods quite a while. He out there camping and stuff. And once he found that these were ancient ruins, like, he's looking for artifacts. He's looking for anything, you know, little sculptures or arrowheads, and it's not a registered site. It's not recognized by the government or anything, so you can ruffle through the place, and if you find artifacts, take them. What it is, source seeds, pine, sage, and pinyon. Pinion, I think, was his mistaken word, because the pinions are very rare in it. There's some that look, that could be a pinion tree, but you don't see. It's not a whole bunch of them. There are lots of pine trees though, and pine pinyon. Tell me the difference, the smell of pine and pinyon. He does mention the pine tea though, pine tea. And why would he mention pine tea? Maybe because it's under some pine needles. That's why he's mentioning pine tea. Because it's under a pile of pine needles. Opinion. Yeah, and he said, I wish I didn't say something I said I shouldn't have. Because the opinion wasn't in air. He only meant pine. You know, the borderline of the pinions is close. There are some pinions up there, but not very few. They're like in rocks and you know, they're at their upper limit there. Let me see. Nope. I'm at 7,980 feet, and there are pinyon trees here higher than me. I'm almost 8,000 feet, and there are pinyon trees here. I can see them right out my window. And I was just checking the elevation here because of the rattlesnakes. They say the rattlesnakes don't go over 8,000 feet, but I have a video of one. Well, he was under a rock. You can hear him. I couldn't really see him, and I didn't put the GoPro close enough to him, I guess, because I had GoPro on a 6-foot stick, and I could reach out there, and I was trying to get him to, because the rattlesnakes that are here aren't very big. The one that was in my hubcap that went for a ride up to the Fenn zone to camp up there. And I got up there, hey, there's a snake hanging out of your hubcap. Oh, yeah. Took the hubcap off. It was a dead rattlesnake. Maybe 3 feet long. It's not very old. I think it had maybe 5 or 6 rattles on it, so it wasn't a very old one. Is it associated with a man-made structure? Do you think Fenn has? Well, they don't consider these rocks man-made. They're not they're just hoodoos to the government. You know, you're just imagining you're seeing. No, not when you're seeing a whole scene of stuff and you can tell what's going on. And there are people with hugging mammoths, and there are mammoths and mammoth trunks coming down and curling, and people holding mammoths, you know, backside of, you know, guy holding with the feet up in the air and the trunk in the air. And the artwork I've found You put it all together, it says ancient civilization. Uh, you know, if there was only one little formation, you could say, yeah, that might be just a natural thing. But there's so much of it, and so much of it is extremely clear what the formation is depicting. There's guys sitting in thrones, guys holding up tombstones. The beard, yeah, the beard, yeah, yeah. I was getting ready for Christmas, you know. Artifacts. What about the only artifact I've found was an actress, a washed up actress from the '60s. The kids will like it. Yeah, yeah. See, yeah. Then I want to. I'm going to do is I'm going to get me the poncho thing and do the Moses thing. You know, got to have the Moses beard. Yeah, and I haven't grown a beard for 8 years or so. And the last time it was just gray down, had like a gray stripe, a Jay Leno gray stripe down there, or it was like, what's his name, Jeff Bridges. And so now I think a few years later, I think that'll be gone, so it'll be all white. I'll make a better Moses this year. Um, so let's see. Any real questions? Or do you plan on doing any searching today? No, I searched day before yesterday. Um, I you they say, you do a lot of calculating at home. I go out when I do my search. I take a ton of pictures, and then I look over the pictures and look over the pictures for the last month. Look back. Okay, what am I missing? What are my new thoughts? I got to look at old pictures with new thoughts. It's like when I found Fenn's totem, I didn't know about the mammoths being there. And so I had to go look at it again and say, okay, now where's the elephants in this? And there they were. It could also help me, the tablet thing where Fenn's totem is. There were shapes on there. There are a lot of arches, omega shapes, and it turns out those are likely mammoth shapes. The mammoths are omegas. You see the omega coming up the leg, over and back down. Hey girls, how you doing? My four granddaughters, one grandson, four girls and an ace. Yeah. So yeah, he plays with a full deck. My son's been dealt all his cards. He's got all five of them. Um, so let's see. So I guess the girls like my little bear and my Indian guy here. Keep it. Oh, I derailed a long time ago. But you see, you got all the ideas coming in and stuff, and if you're creative and have a lot of unusual idea, the unusual ideas are the ones that are going to get into what was in Forrest Fenn's head, It's like he didn't have the easiest time. When he went to school and stuff, his experience with the college or the whatever the school thing he had was kind of like my experience with the Navy. It wasn't all it was propped up to be, for one. And they don't give you this. They guarantee you a certain school, and after you've gone to that school for 2, 3 months, they say, okay, every week they take the 10% and kick them out. 10% kick them out. 10% kick them out. So you have to be the very top to get into that rating. It was a data systems. I ended up doing IT work and telecommunications anyhow. So I was a outside plant manager at Time Warner, managed fiber optic networks and engineered the construction and all that, and oversaw the construction. I didn't do the construction. Some of it I go hook up jumpers and do things in the central office, or where there are jumper boxes. Like, you see them metal box on the side of the road and you don't know what's in it. That's probably a bunch of fiber optic connectors and shit. The reason for the grid search is so you can... Yeah, my area, it's kind of, there's a lot of... It's like going to a mall because there's a ramp going up this way and then another ramp going up that way, and then it comes back down over here, and you can't go. You have to follow these ramps to get up onto the other level. There's several levels, and that's why it was important that the Moses was on the second step, because the steps are terraces. If you go down to South America and stuff, they in the mountains area, all the native stuff is terraced. It's all a bunch of steps going up the mountains. That's how they did their gardening and all. And this is like, man, this would be a cool place for a tent right here, because it's all flat. And I think some of them were structures, and some have collapsed maybe, I think that there's some places that there got to be structures in underground chambers. And big beautiful place. So yeah, there's a lot up there. I'd like to have that he's got that at the museum, museum. It practically is a museum. His old gallery, and they got that big elephant in the back standing up. That thing would be so cool on top of the mammoth temples up there. There's these giant mammoth sculptures with this elephant standing on top, rearing up with his feet in the air like the one I've got right here. Or his feet aren't up like that one. Mine, the feet are straight up. They're like pillars. God, I kind of, this could even, but it's, I don't know if this is considered a desert. It's BLM, it's not National Forest, so it's possible caves. Yeah, you need to do some flare in the winter when a low pressure system moves in to catch warm air coming out of any cave or chamber, and a FLIR camera would see that warm air pocket escaping from the ground. And you could then figure that there's probably an underground chamber there that the high pressure air inside is blowing out because a low pressure system moved in, and that warm air blowing out into cold winter air would make a you'd see the difference easily. And I went and looked at, there was a fire near where the treasure is. It was about a mile away from the treasure, fairly close. Mile away by air, but 2 miles driving. It was over a hill in the next canyon, and there was a fire there, and I went up there to see how much damage the fire did, and to get some pictures of rocks and stuff there. And I found a lot of stuff there. But it turns out I look, and well, where's the fire? Where? Oh, there. Oh, it only burned like 5-10 acres. They put it out fast, so the treasure was saved by some fast work by the fire department in this area. All the other places got out of hand, but here they did a good job. I know the forester here, and he's had to hike in 4 miles to put out some idiot's campfire. You know, one thing you want to. There's plenty of streams and stuff in the mountains, and so if you're going to have a campfire, do it near a stream for one, and bring at least a water bag that you can fill up with water and get water over and dump it on a fire. If you can't carry maybe a canvas bucket, but you're required, if they catch you out in the forest having a campfire and you don't have a shovel with you, you're in trouble. Because it's required to have a shovel for a campfire. Here's the stuffed animal store. No. Yeah, you like the little things hanging around. I got an eagle up here, and we can we can even do one of these. Fly by. Here we go. Yeah, so yeah, he popped out, he ejected, and his F-100 dove into the ground. I wonder, did it go on a spin or just dive, Forrest? So yeah, there's a took out the bear. There we go. The nose of the F-100. So we can put the bear here on the F-100 since nobody's talking treasure here, right? Nobody come here to chat about the treasure. Hi, Evelyn. How you doing, cutie? Yeah, so we got the bear on the wing. Okay. Treasure. Those little girls are treasures to me. Yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, I got my thing for, I'm fighting that red light ticket because it was BS. Their video only showed me exiting it didn't have the intersection where the line is or any of that. It was, 2-3 seconds later, I enter the picture exiting the intersection. and I had a legal right to exit the intersection because I entered it when it was yellow. And they're using inconclusive BS, and So, yeah, it costs like 3 times as much as the ticket, but the insurance would have charged me much more than that. So, Uh, yeah, I was 4 times a week in January. I was searching. I searched 4 times 1 week in January, and I've this year I've probably searched 30 or 40 times so far. But like I said, it's about 35 miles from where I'm camped now, and I can't. My budget doesn't let me go search every day, or twice a week is about the most I can get up there. I had fixed 2 flat tires this week and get an oil change and all those things cut into my search money and my search. It really I don't figure it's any expense. I'm just living here near it, and that's my recreation. What's your opinion on the drawings and not the ones you found? Well, I found all the drawings. And so the ones, there are some drawings that are only in your mind that are in there. Like the drawing of the Pie Lady's tombstone, putting the nickel under there. That drawing is missing from the book. The For whom the bell tolls, the hand holding the bell, that's missing from the book. You find this stuff in nature and it matches the story. There's his pile of airplanes. And I could do. You see that bear's riding on the. He's on the. Oh, he fell off again. What are we gonna? Where was I? Oh yeah, the bell. For whom the bell? The bell's there. Description of the of islands. You look at a lot of the drawings, and there's the hand pointing at the marbles but you're looking at the hand and not the It's a deceptive that the hand is the symbol you're looking for, maybe. And let me turn that. That bear, he doesn't like to stay anywhere. There's the figures that they have the cross thing, like they have a shoulder harness thing on. You see a lot of, because you're going to see a lot of that because, and what's crossing is an elephant trunk or something coming across them sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to know. And sometimes there's a part of the formation has fallen off, like their head or arm. I got one guy with his arm is like there's a gap like 10 inches between his shoulder and his arms leaning to get, but he's got the other arm and he's got figures on his chest, other people on his chest, like he has a t-shirt with people on it. Who knows what they were depicting? People will read the Bible and they'll read about Ezekiel and his description of the aliens had a 4 heads, or each head had a face on each side, because these drawings, some of the have faces. A face will be another face, like, that's the side of that's a profile of another face, So you block off the, and so there's a face looking each way inward. There's faces looking outward, and there's a face looking straight at you in it. and maybe the nose is an elephant's back sitting there, and its trunk comes up and across their forehead, and they got people standing in their eyes, and it's a very psychedelic world they lived in, and people don't understand. Those people ate peyote and the magic mushrooms up there, and unless you can enter the Indian Church of Peyote of Kawana Parker, Forrest Fenn, one guy he mentioned that went to the Indian Church. That's the Peyote Church. So and they ate peyote, and they didn't talk about God. They talked to God. So, you, some people are too stuck on the reality and what people tell them is reality, and they're unwilling to venture into the imagination and the psychedelic world that these natives lived in, you know? Especially people who work for the government all their life. Yeah. And then they become, because they're so pure and clean, they're bigoted and they can put you down because you know about things that they don't know about, but they consider that nasty, dirty stuff and evil stuff. And so they try and belittle you and put themselves on a higher throne. That's why, like trolls, they don't have a clue, and so they throw shit at you. Trolls, they don't have a clue, so they throw shit at you. That rhymes. and like I looked at the video I put up last night. I did what I could. I don't have a. It's a GoPro. It doesn't have the Bluetooth, so the GoPro in the wind. What am I gonna do? Wrap the GoPro in fur and try and keep the wind out of it, and and that wind noise. That's the voice of God. Take it as the voice of God saying, they don't need to hear this. Distort it. Make them listen real hard. It's like, well, if the gods blew wind on the camera, they did it for a reason. I give out too much good information, that's all. I had a lot of, I can't. I'm not allowed to be part of the conversation. And I figured out how they block people now on the chat. What you do is you put that person's name or last name as a forbidden word, and it automatically gets removed. So it's probably my son. When they block me, they block my son. There's some other people with my last name searching too, that are somewhat into it and want to, but they're unable to chat also. So when they block a name, if my name isn't that common, but it's common enough that they're blocking more than me. And I don't have them blocked. I haven't. I've never said anything bad on there. I might be. I'm a little stealthy and sarcastic, but I'm not. I'm not vulgar or rude or insulting on there. I got blocked from the Gypsy Mafia for saying that they lacked they lacked imagination. I can't see those shapes in the rocks. Well, then it's because of a lack of imagination. It's only imagination. You're unable to imagine. You don't. You're probably really bad with statues too. Statue. When I went to the Buffalo Bill Museum in Cody, I went there in 2006. I think I went there a couple times because I lived in Billings at the time, and I was servicing computers and fixing flat screen TVs and stuff. I was just on call, and I go to this job board, and they say TV repair this place, and the first technician to accept it gets the job. But they pay me like $150 to go fix the TV, but they paid like 50 cents a mile to drive it. So I got 50 cents a mile both ways going from Billings to Cody to fix the TV. And so I made more money off the mileage, which is all a tax write off, than off the work. Yeah, they don't even count that mileage money as income. So, um, but when I went there, and I've got these this 3D camera. It's got two lenses. It's got two eyes. It's got two microphones, 3D and stereo. The battery's dead, but and it's got a lenticular lens, so that you don't need any special glasses, and you can see the 3D. I don't know. My airplane's not. Can't we? No, this isn't not going to work either. There we go. Okay, get the airplane out of here. So yeah, it's take 3D pictures. Just take two pictures, and then it splits it on the screen. And I tried to get when I was out. I tried to get one of the computers, and they quit making them just when I could afford it. But yeah, the 3D pictures are neat, and it does 3D video too. I've got a few 3D videos. I think I'm an old channel. I might have some on this one. I don't know. But that's it. I can go to my old channel. And I'm wondering what's in this Indian's boat. It's a lot like the boat. He's got a little papoose in there, it looks like here. Just maybe arrows, maybe his other gear. So, yeah, it's not about 3D. Yeah, so I take pictures of the statues. I try and take 3D pictures of the statues in the museum, and this thing has flash and all that. But the statues are very hard to see with any camera when you take a picture of them. And I'm taking pictures of basically statues. So, can you tell that's an elephant straight on? No. You have to have it the right lighting and all that. And a lot of the statues are dark brown, bronze color, not polished brass. I think I think the bell part is brass and the elephant part is bronze, maybe. It unscrews here. The elephant unscrews off of there, and I guess they could put a horse on there if they want, But yeah, it was like $14 for a nice little elephant bell. And the thumb over Philadelphia is about the thumb over the Liberty Bell, for whom the bell tolls. There's multiple clues there pointing to the same thing. Now I got that hand holding the bell thing, and then there's a bell-shaped rock, but I've kind of ruled out the creek because there's so many guys go down there fishing and up and down the creek, and they're fishing up and down the creek. So anything right there, you know, they would probably see anything unless it's under a big rock that they wouldn't go to. But that's, you know, even that they might be curious. Oh, what's in there? You know, mountain lion. Ew. The heavy metal content of that area is outrageous and very hard to detect. Yeah, a lot of the rocks, like where Fenn's totem is, I think my metal detector, it's made all kinds of noise. It's mineralized. It's man, I need jelly beans. I got a big jar of flavored jelly beans. You get that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I have a good metal detector now. And my pinpointer is somewhere up on the mountain over above Fenn's totem. When I went up there to some ponds, it fell out of my backpack. That's why I got a new backpack. It's a drawstring bag, basically. Because them zippers come undone on them zipper ones, and you gotta make sure all your compartments are zip closed. You almost need a clip, like a little carabiner to hook on and keep the zipper tied closed. Because those zippers, you brush against a tree and the tree branch grabs the zipper, opens it up, and your shit dumps out. I'll go for a walk with the GoPro or my 360 camera over here today. I'll use it. No. I can give someone coordinates for about where I lost it. It's a creek that goes up. There's these ponds up on this little flat. But it's a hill like this, and you climb about 400 feet. And there's these ponds and big meadows up there because he talks about in Vietnam the belly high grass and the 300-foot meadows, and that's up there. And I went up there and there were ducks in the pond, and the grass was almost to my ribs, you know, and places was taller, and there was these big plants or like plants that are in that page 99 drawing are up there. And so it was that type of area. But, you know, there's some things I don't say at all because it's like, wow, those would be wow clues. And I got the I did some videos for Men Are So Smart. Sent them some clips. They're kind of answers to some basic questions, but don't expect anybody to give out their current Well, if somebody gets you from where warm waters halt all the way to the wood, ain't that good enough? Why I'm not giving out any pinpoints or anything like that for somebody else to go, oh, this is the next spot he was going to check and get there 2 hours before me. No, no. I'm going to go look at it, and I'm going to keep searching my little area intensely until I just get so fed up with it. One of them, my solve is good enough for a TV show to rival Oak Island. My area is good enough for the backdrops of all these sculptures and rocks and faces and mammoths and temples and the art and all that up there. It'd be great for television. And if not, if it ain't going to be about the treasure hunt, eventually it's going to be on Ancient Aliens. 'Cause I did find one rock. It looks like aliens under the. It's like black under the rock, and there's aliens painted in the rock in the black. And Forrest was saying, if you do abstract art, don't use black. Well, some of this stuff is solid black, and like it's all black around the aliens. It's black around the Indians dancing. They're I avoid showing the stuff on the computer anymore. But I got some cool stuff on there. My last video, there's several pictures I put on there and you decide and stuff. Got airplanes and jets flying across and birds and fish flying across the screen. I thought I had more of that stuff. I had to take all my PNG files and put them all in one folder. They have subfolders in it, but trying to look for them amongst the JPEGs. And my art program, it won't let me search for files. Corel, fix that. When I go to open a file, use the part of Windows that allows you to search for file names. That drives me nuts, Oh, I know the name of the file, but it won't let me search. So I gotta go into the Windows Explorer and search for the file name, find out where it is, and then go back to the program I'm using and go to that directory, It's like an extra BS that they don't need to do, It can make it simple. Nobody there. Hey, Ace! Yeah, we got, I told you, 4 girls and an ace. He's a cool little guy, though. He's smart and alert, and he's going to be a smart guy. Like his sisters. See if they can keep their grades up all the way through high school. That's a tough one with kids, because once they get into high school, all your puppet strings are cut as a parent when they're in high school, and you have to make sure that that you don't alienate you don't want to alienate your kid. You want to be strict without making them, oh, I hate you. There's a fine line there. There's negotiation, and I turned out I got a good kid out of it. He did what he wanted. except when I caught him cutting glass. Yeah. Yeah, take him skiing, treat him like a man on his birthday. Well, what was that? Around the 21st birthday, was that, Chris? No. Yep. Yeah, Chris. Here says toddlers to teenagers. One teenager, yeah, he'll be another one in another year and a half. Yeah, that birthday. Birthday at Ricky's. um, Anything else going on? Any treasure questions? 'Cause I'm just, randomly finding my. Yeah, yeah, we were like 300 miles. Well, can we go back? Yeah. Well, nothing else I see. What have I posted lately that I might discuss here? We'll go over these. Um, Homer Brown says the whole chase was designed to change the world. And Don Jenkins says, please get yourself a wind mic. Terrible trying to watch. I don't know, when my GoPro's over there, and I'm over, I would have to have a wireless microphone or something, and then plug that in. Does my GoPro have a microphone jack? No. So how do you hook up an external microphone on a Go? I don't know how to put an external. There's no microphone jack on there. I haven't flown my drone for a long time because it's so untrustworthy. It destroyed 2 batteries. The first one caught on fire. I flew it up by the Mammoth Temples and I landed it. I took the battery out. I turned it off, took the battery out, put another battery in, turned it on, and I was trying to get it ready to fly, and I noticed smoke, or I thought it was dust, and it wasn't dust. It was smoke, because the the GoPro has Wi-Fi. It doesn't have Bluetooth. The power supply in the drone caught on fire and burned up right there. So, So then I got I got all batteries. I got 3 batteries, or I had 2 batteries, and I had all these extra props, and the props I buy Master Air Screw props. If you have a drone, get props from Master Air Screw. The ones that come with the drone shatter if they touch anything. Shatter, But the Master Air Screw, Master Air Screw, that's like the Mile High Club. But the Master Air Screw props, I've trimmed pine branches with it. It's gone into a tree and come out of the tree. It's amazing. And the Master Air Screw props, The one time when you're down in the canyon, the GPS on the drone doesn't work very good, and I don't have it doesn't have an avoidance system, to stay away from walls and trees and stuff, and so I was going down low in the canyon where the GPS has less than where I took off from even. 'Cause I had to wait forever to get enough signal to even fly it. And then when I was down there, I saw it start going off to over toward the canyon wall, and oh no! And you don't have time to react sometimes, or know which direction you. Oh, what way do I got to go to avoid that? And it crashed into the canyon wall there, and then it tumbled down the canyon wall, and there was a ledge that come out and stuck out a little ways, and when it hit that, it bounced it out over the river or creek. It's a creek at that point, and it was starting to go down to oh, hey, it's over now once it goes in the water, and the thing recovered and. And I go, okay, up, over this way, away from the wall. And so it recovered, and I flew it back to me and landed it. And one of the props, half of one side of the props was one of the props was gone. So there was one prop that was only 3/4 of the prop there. And it was able to fly back like that. That's another reason the ones with like four props or 6 props, the ones with 6 props are a lot more reliable because they're more expensive, but they're a lot more reliable because you could have a prop go down and it still fly. I don't know about them 4 prop ones like mine. Mine flew with 3 3/4 props. But Master Airscrew makes, and they make them in different colors. I don't know if they got glow in the dark or not. And there are some props that have LED lights on them now. Those would be pretty cool. So, treasure. There's 17 people, and I got 2 people conversing. One is my son. Nobody else asking questions. I don't have anybody blocked, so there's no reason. Well, yeah, it's a bell. Ring the bell loudly. Tell the world. That's what he's saying by ring the bell. Tell the world what you found. Because he wanted somebody to find all this ancient sculpture. That's the real treasure. That's the trove. The trove is the stuff I found. All this stuff on yeah. Now see, I got the one on my hat. And I got one for Forrest. Another one. And I have 2 other hats that have the same one on. I had 5 of these. But one of these I'm going to give Forrest for his fishing hat. The big one that got away. Yeah, they had 3 left. I bought 2. I put them on my hats, and well, they were cheap, so I went to get another one, and they only had 3 left, so I said, oh, okay, I'll take all 3. They probably have more of them now. Yeah. Oh. Search eBay for Mammoth Belle, and you get Belle spelled Belle with her mammoth. Oh, yeah, that Belle was a. See, the ears are kind of small on it, but I think it's an Indian elephant. Pin. I was looking to see if they. Yep, there they are. How many? 8 available. So there's 8 more. There's 8 more of these somebody has on eBay. Cute Giovanni Mammoth Elephant Brooch Pin. A $4.55. If you want a mammoth pin, elephant pin. $4.55, free shipping. Let me see. About that. And another thing Forrest says, this I think goes toward the gypsy mafia, But fickle is a finger that points at winners. Fickle is the finger that points at winners. See, he was a winner. He was doing his art stuff, and he was and there was people pointing their fingers at him and criticizing him and all that. And he's, what's your problem? You ain't got nothing going for yourself. Well, you got to complain, about somebody else when you can't even manage yourself, Yeah, a lot of the trolls will, they attack you as if they're perfect themselves, and they want to tell you how to do your show and how to do everything. Well, go do your own. I tell people I cut off I don't have any puppet strings. This is the only string I got to hold, keep my hat from blowing off. And you found a lot of art. What's the one piece of art that you believe will be at the treasure location? Well, I found several of them that I thought would be the Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. I thought would be, but if you're following the poem, and you follow the poem, there's a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. But further down the road is this pile of airplanes, and the double blazes. When you flip the double blazes over, they're cow udders. Yeah, it's the cow udder. So that's what, boom, boom, and that's right next to the double blazes, right next to his pile of airplanes. And there was stuff there, and I had a picture that, wow, it looks like, and it wasn't it was a stick. It was a stick and a rock. The stick made it look square. And so it covers miles. And so the exact spot at Rockwell Boy, he's in two places. So if he were the sign, which one? That's why I had that hat trick game to demonstrate that all of the targets look alike, but the treasure's only under one of them. See, so you're taking a guess at which. That's why I say he put all the game pieces out there, all the Monopoly pieces, all the poker chips, all the all the whole deck of cards. Before, before or after. Yeah, I still got that on my computer. I can do that again. Was that before I was exiled? Yeah. Fenn Treasure Hunter in Exile. That'll be a next video title. I don't know if I reset that game yet or not, or if it's still in the same plot. Nothing happening there. Fickle is the finger that points at winners. That's what Forrest Fenn says. And you find out on Terry Scant, I think. Was it in the book? Yeah. It was on Terry Scant. It looks like I put on a shared Michael Brick's link on my Fenn Fennatics. Being part of it. I was going to say, thank you for not showing us your berries. Speaking of, somewhere here, when I went searching, I found this blackberry right next to the bell, for whom the bell tolls. That bell at the end of the hallway. His father was trying to find a substitute. A phone was ringing at the end of the hallway, and I find a modern phone next to a bell. Well, it didn't ring, but it looks like a bell. So this, I don't know if it might be Forrest Fenn's old phone. I tried. I had it plugged in overnight. The red light came on to say it was charged, but it don't turn on or nothing. It doesn't do anything. So I don't waste my precious solar power on it. Here's what I need. What else? You ever go on? eBay sometimes, and you search for lot. And I look for a whole bunch of things that you can get cheap and make some money reselling them, and I bought a lot, 10 pocket knives that were collected by TSA, and so I got a bunch of it's a multi-tool pocket knife, I guess, Nautica, and it's got scissors but I paid, I think, $22 for 10 knives, and a lot of them you could sell for $10 to $20 a piece. So, if you want to start a little business or you, like some people even IRV and stuff, and some people have a couple of little fold-up tables, and under their awning they'll have a table of things to sell when they're traveling and stuff. But these are one of the things that you can make a profit on them. little profit to to buy your groceries and feed yourself. There's some people that don't like people making a little bit of cash, a little bit of profit, a little bit of money to help themselves along. Those people that don't like people making a little bit of money, they can bite me, okay? Because if you got a little way to make a little cash and improve your life, go do it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll take an offer on that if anybody, I had some others. Where's the other ones? I thought I had them all right here. I made this shelf. There's a shelf right here. See, this is wood. Elephants in the way. There's a shelf, and it's only as wide as, 14 inches or 16 inches wide, and 6 feet long. So it sits on the back of the seat here, and goes up against the window, because I don't need a dinette set for 4. A dinette for 2 is fine for me, So I got this whole shelf of junk accumulator. And then it's got a rail all the way around to keep stuff from sliding off when I go drive the RV. So it does hold the stuff. But brushes. Oh, that don't need plugged in. Yeah, combs, brushes. Because they don't always put things away where they go, That's why I hang the brushes up here. Headphones. I use a lot of hooks in here because you're limited at I don't have a garage or an extra room, so and they don't give you enough cupboard space to begin with. Like the kitchen, there's room for your plates. Where do I put the food? Oh, you put the food in your dresser. And because I live in here, I got things like books, and I took a lot of my books and put them in the storage, or my storage trailer on my property. Put a bunch of books in there, my bookshelf, and I stopped by there the other day and checked on it, and everything's still there. Nobody bothered it. I got solar lights out and stuff on poles. But I'm not really getting done. Let's see. Thanks for the Fickle just learned something. Yeah, you didn't know that he said that. Yeah, Fickle is the hand that points at winners, and he said winners, the winners, the winning solve, the winners are going to get a lot of criticism. You got to be brave to take the criticism, and bold enough to throw it back in their face. Yeah. Like you ain't gonna mess with Charlton Heston or Moses or. I'm leaving. Have a good day. Have a good day, Jason. Probably hot as hell back there. We got it's all gray and rainy looking up in my search area right now. You can barely see, yeah, the clouds are coming over the hills, and so you can't even see the hills. Clouds are fairly low. They're not as high as usual. And there's been thunderstorms passing by, and you get out there, you get out, you get your backpack on, and boom, starts raining like hell. And so, it's better. In the next week, I'm going back up there again. And then I'm going to I'll be searching about 4 times a week instead of twice a week. You still go out and, you go out unsuccessful search, and you go back and you review your pictures and you see if you're missing something. And I may have missed. I saw some stuff in one picture. And where was it? Okay, I know where that is, and that's still in consideration. And you don't know if the treasure's at the end of the line or just before the end of the line. Some of the symbols, but I have another idea I got to look at. And there's a fence there though, so I thought it might have been private property. So I looked it up, and it's state of Colorado. Well, that's not private property, but they got a fence there. It's because of rocks and stuff, and they don't want people climbing on rocks and getting hurt and stuff like that. But there's also an old road that you see the bricks that where they it crosses a gully, and the bricks. The road is elevated, but it's like bricks, a brick retaining wall below it, and it's old road from the 20s, or back in the early days. That's how that Model A or Model B cowl got up there, up this road, and it goes all the way over the mountain. And some of it's been replaced by modern roads, and some of the old road still exists, and that would be especially areas where people might have stopped. Go around there with metal detector and might find silver coins or something, because they get out and go sit on a rock and their coins fall out of their pocket. So I'll go up, check out that road, and where I see some rocks people could sit on, a metal detector around them, see if any coins fell out of their pockets there. When I went up to one of the old roads, I was met beep beep beep, big signal, something there. I found an oil filter like off a tractor that was huge. It was probably a foot long and 8 inches in diameter. It was a big old tractor oil filter from some antique logging machine or something. Yeah, it's old BlackBerry 8120, I think it is. Was right there by the bell, for whom the bell tolls. So when they talk about proxy items, a letter or something, this would be a digital proxy item, because it still has. Wow, I banged this thing on and I lost signal. I knocked it on the table here to get the battery out, and my signal was interrupted. Shouldn't be interrupted at all because I'm right next to the tower. But yeah, it still has a SIM card in it, and the SIM card will. I don't want to come out. It's rusted in. Yeah, there's a lot of rust in there. So, yeah, I don't know who's, it's a 2007 model phone. And so that tells me that it could have been left there in 2010. My favorite, I'm not using my favorite phone is my LG phone, and it's a probably 3-year-old phone, 2 3-year-old phone. So 2015, I think. So it's like a 3-year-old. I'm using use a 3-year-old phone. So why wouldn't somebody in 2010 be using a 3-year-old phone, or two? Maybe it was 2 years old when they had it. Who knows? But somebody left the phone there, and it somebody either had to leave it there or throw it there. It was, because it's not a place that you go. They were maybe sitting on that rock and it fell out of their pocket. And so, Forrest, if that's your phone, or your dad's phone, or your brother's phone, no, it's not your brother's phone. Or your dad. They were gone back when my mother died. And, um, yeah, that might be. I don't know. It was by a bell, and the phone was ringing. His father was trying to find a substitute, and he had to run down the end of the hallway, maybe, huh? Because that phone was all the way down at the end of the hallway where the bell was ringing. There was a phone. There was a bell in the phone, actually. So I found a phone at a bell, and it's a place I call. I had named Spot's backyard, and it's the hallway because it's these ramps up these terraces are kind of like hallways. And, there's just wide. They're like roads, except the fastest vehicle around was the mammoth, or a horse, or a camel. you know, um, and the area is perfect for they terrace. They could have lived on these terraces, and they had business that they didn't really need to have any agriculture because they were trading with people that were traveling through, and what they would trade is, for that bag of corn, we'll put you in your canoe on top of our mammoth and take you to the other side of the mountain, and that's how they got their food. The travelers fed them and helped them. They might no, but they trade. We'll give you a ride for a bag of corn, or whatever they were trading. Maybe some apples. Who knows? Maybe it was a bag of mushrooms and peyote. But that's what the ancient ones. Oh, you hear these archaeologist guys. Oh, we don't know. It's a mystery. What was in that? Was that a medicine bag or what? And there was hallucinogenics in there, and maybe tobacco. Was there a medicine bag, or what's his little? Graham Hancock calls it a man purse. So I got new one, man. This is so I got a new wallet that it's pretty. The mother wallet was shredding up, so I got a new one, leather. Nice one. It was like $7. Nice leather wallet, eBay. Ballery, Baellery, genuine leather. So, yeah, and I got that little fanny bag because I don't want to sit on my wallet, and sitting on your wallet, it helps destroy your wallet. So it should last longer in here. And I got other things. I got a compartment. I put all my extra batteries for my cameras in there, and I can on the strap I can hang camera lens on. So I can basically use this instead of a big backpack sometimes if I'm not going very far where I don't need water. Because I gotta bring water for the yeah, well, I bring water for me and water for the dog. You know, and the bowl for the dog is you put the bottle of water and let him lick out of your hand while you're pouring the water in your hand. You know, or else you waste your water. And water is not light stuff to carry. That's the heaviest thing I bring with me on the hunt is water. Or I bring like a half a bottle of root beer or something on a hike sometime. You know, 2 liters is too heavy. It starts getting heavy fast, and I don't like to have weight. And I sweat profusely because my thyroid and all that, my endocrine system's all out of balance. So I'm about done. I think I'm here. We can begin. Oh, Dirk is here now. Yeah. Yeah, hey, when you get on that show, you know they're talking about the drawings, and nobody said Gorman's the king of the drawings. He's the one that found the stuff out there in nature. You know, the inability to see what I'm seeing is their failure and my advantage. Yeah, I talked about how they statues. Try and take pictures of statues. It's very hard to take pictures of statues, and ancient ones are even harder. I like the way I do this. Yeah, I'll show you that one. I took the turnaround. No. See, there's the Clovis canoe with the treasure in it, and the mammoth loading the passengers. I cut it out and put it. It float. My last video. It's one of the things that float across the screen. So this is a screenshot from my last video. You know, there's the mammoth trunk there, loading these two passengers. That's the mammoth head, and the woman's the big figure, and the little girl. The girl is a small figure, and she's got her knee up on the trunk of the elephant. I don't know if she's sliding off the elephant or getting onto the elephant's trunk. So you see the elephant head, the little ear of the mammoth. But there's also... Oh, come on, phone, balance on my hand. Down in the boat, there's figures in the boat. See, there's the nose and mouth, the hair. There's figures laying in the bottom of the boat. And you see her knee up there, and she's either climbing onto the trunk of the elephant. The yellow thing's the trunk of the elephant. And here's the oarsman. He's a wow, man, he's all painted up, isn't he? But yeah, and I think that maybe part of the pole is, I think, his pole for pushing down the river. Oh, so yeah, that's cool stuff, I think. And on the video, I put this, Colorado. It's a transparent image I put on there, and it looks like it belongs there. I like that. Oop. And the flag. See, Colorado itself, it represents rainbow. The yellow for the sun. The yellow for the sun. The red, I don't know what the red is. The mountains, maybe, the rocks. And the blue for the sky, and the white for the rivers and stuff like that. It represents the colors of the rainbow, or rainbow colors. The colorful Colorado is the rainbow state. So, enough. Make you suffer. I'm hungry.